Next one is from Luke Smith from down under. Subject is online fans. Hey guys, as more and more talent pour through the gates of AEW, as much as their oversensitive hardcore fan base and the newsletter writers will never admit it, I have a question. Are the majority of ex-WWE guys in any better of a position than when they were in the WWE? There's so many examples of talent who I think aren't being used to their full potential, which is still one of the WWE's biggest criticisms. Matt Hardy, Proud and Powerful, Pac, Brian Cage, The Revival. They're just a few names that spring to mind. Konnan and Disco. Can you see a stage where some of these talents jump from AEW to WWE? All we've seen so far is talent after talent go to AEW. I'm interested to see if it happens and what the reaction will be from the AEW fans and the newsletter writers who make WWE sound like a toxic place nobody wants to work and AEW to be the holy grail. I've also noticed Sportskeeda, who have 3 million Facebook followers. Do they really? Have been picking up some of the show. I noticed this. I've been picking up some of the show's discussions and writing articles on them. It's hilarious reading the AEW Defenders comments. I've attached a couple below. Okay. So there's let's do this. Let's pull up one of the articles of one of the comments here because this Luke is talking about here. So
okay, hang on. I gotta forward it to
hang
myself.
on. Konnan Sports. Let me Google this. Sportskeeda. All right. Let me see here. Is this the clip hit? Okay. Why should we care about him is one of the... All right, here we go. All right, why should we care about it? Okay, here's one of the things, okay? Why should we care about him? WCW legend Konnan slams AEW for Rising Stars booking. WCW legend Konnan recently shared his thoughts on AEW's booking of Fuego del Sol in his on-screen association with TNT champion Sammy Guevara. The Luchador is a relatively new addition to AEW's roster, having signed a full-time contract in August, while the underdog Del Sol is quite popular. Others have been critical of his Guevara-dependent booking in the company. Speaking on the latest edition of his podcast, Keep It at 100, Konnan called out AEW for Fuego del Sol's questionable booking. He was also critical of Sammy Guevara gifting Del Sol a truck, wondering where all this was leading to. Furthermore, the WCW veteran criticized the AEW star involvement in Guevara's matches. Konnan then pointed out his major gripe with AEW, where every top star seems to involve their friends in angles and storylines for no reason. Quote, now before this, Sammy buys this guy Fuego del Sol a truck. What's the deal with Fuego, dude? Why should we care about him? Okay, you're Sammy's friend, you already got your job, now he got you a truck. What's next, an engagement ring? What was it at the end? He came to help him as if nobody cared. Sammy's with Fuego, Nakazawa's with Omega, Cutler's with the Young Bucks. Does everybody just bring their friend now to the wrestling matches to become part of the angles? You get their jobs and trucks? What's going on here, said Konnan. Konnan was also critical of CM Punk's booking of AEW. Konnan recently criticized AEW for booking CM Punk to compete against the young and mid-card performers. The WCW legend thinks fans want to see the straight-edge superstar wrestle the top stars, not the, quote, young cats. Konnan pointed out CM Punk's feel-good period in AEW is over and he should be getting back to business by getting involved in notable feuds. The veteran feels Punk engaging in notable rivalries can also help elevate the company's ratings. And so these are some of the comments, right? All right, so I guess this is what Luke's talking about, the comment section. Konnan needs to stop being a crab. Let the kid shine, bro. You were just like him with Eddie, Chavo, and their uncle when you got to WCW, so stop. Yeah, Konnan.
I didn't come in with Chavo, Mondo, and Eddie. I came in by myself.
This is a funny comment. Yeah, Konnan's right. No one should bring their friends to the ring. The incident that annoyed me the most is when Santana and Ortiz brought Konnan to the ring. Konnan is pissed off no one chants his name anymore. Isn't Konnan the idiot who saw Puerto Aguayo laid unconscious in the ring and decided that shaking him was a good idea despite a spinal cord injury? Well, first of all, nobody knew he had a spinal cord injury when that happened. Which is whatever, okay. Why should we give that... who gives a shit that Konnan doesn't understand why a guy is over? Says the guy who has literally coasted off the Mexicans Hogan thing for freaking decades. It's like the only way you can get attention to IWC is by having a strong opinion on what is going on in AEW. Boring. Bro, the Sportskeeda is like that. They're like, that's like the what culture. These are like the marks of the marks, like the people that, this is brutal. But they have been posting a lot of our conversations on here. I didn't know they had 3 million Facebook followers, though, but maybe that's why. Maybe we could shout out their fans. Yes. Hey, if you're listening to this, come listen to our show.
Yeah.
You may actually, you may hear things in context and see instead of seeing just snippets of what we say, you know?
Or even come on the show and say what you're saying so we can respond to you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come be on the podcast. We have a tier where you can come be a podcast guest. So for live podcast guests and question things you have to say.
Well,
Next is
here was
some-
another one I want to read just because of the comment. The article is called "His Whole Thing Was Railing Against the System." WCW legend lashes out at CM Punk for competing in AEW's mid-card division. The WCW legend is Disco Inferno. And underneath, a comment by Michael Dennis says, Disco Inferno is by no means a WCW legend. In fact, he's not a legend at all. That dog sheet piece of wannabe wrestler has no credibility whatsoever. So that's the kind of comments that Sportskeeda is soliciting with these headlines.
Sportskeeda. They're drawing a good fan base, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.